What is going on, you beautiful people? Today I'll be showing you how to get to the Sphinx in Dragon's Dogma 2, as well as show you on how to solve all of her riddles. Now, we are currently standing at the ancient battleground, right here. And you want to access this from the checkpoint rest down by following this path down here, which is the easiest way. And from here, we're gonna make our way to the actual Sphinx. It's kind of a hassle to get there. There's a couple of twists and turns. Make sure you bring some fairy stones because you'll need them in the future. And stick around to the end of the video because I made a massive mistake and I'm trying to warn you with this video to not make that mistake. But for now, just follow along as I make my way to the Sphinx. Here. Pretty peaceful now. You might encounter a dragon and an ogre, I think. But I already defeated them, so be careful. We want to go left here, up the hill. Please leave me alone for a bit. Come on now. Okay, there we go. Then we take a right turn. Continue walking uphill. I'm lazy, so I'm jumping up here. Okay. Now, if you already know where the Sphinx is and you're already at her position and you just wanna solve the riddles and you don't need the whole route to her, you want to go left here, by the way. You can just skip this part of the video. I have the video in chapters, so you can just skip the traveling part. Want to go up this ladder right here? Just ignore that. Oh god, just ignore the mobs for now. Take a right turn, take a left turn, and you can see a ladder up there on the left side. We want to jump up this little ledge here. Climb up the ladder. It's not too far anymore. It's just that you just need to know where you're going. And right here, let's see, we are here right now. So make sure you're at the same position before we proceed. Right there. Alright. And there's probably gonna be another boss, mini boss here. You want to defeat that first, and then on the left side here is this ladder. Oh god. Not harpies, please. You know what? I'm just gonna ignore you. No, 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 no. Alright, here we go. When I enter this cave right here, there's gonna be some mobs here as well. Some people you want to kill first. They just travel with me. Make sure that you make the exact same turns as I'm making in this cave. There's some turns that you can do wrong, so make sure you pay attention.
What are you doing?
You ought not to be so careless.
Don't jump down here and don't go straight forward. Just go right here. Probably gonna be some spooky ghosts here. Oh, not even. Okay. Follow this path, and then now you want to go to the right, and there's the ghost. For some reason, I think those are the most annoying, mobs in the game. What do you think are the most annoying mobs or bosses in the game? Let me know in the comments down below. But once we get here, is when we're pretty close to the Sphinx already. We've had the worst part. Now, if you see this mural right there, you know you're in the right place. And there's actually a hint over here, which we'll come back to later on in the video. Want to follow down this path. There's not much else places to go. Go down here. There we go. And now we're actually already pretty much at the Sphinx. There we go. Now, if you do have one, I recommend you place down a Rift Crystal. If you don't have one just yet, you're completely fine, but do make sure to have some fairy stones with you, because you're gonna need them. I already have my port crystal right there. Want to walk up these stairs, and there she is, Mommy Sphinx. There we go. And now let the trials
Many have
begin, I
tried,
suppose.
And as you can plainly see, all have failed. I would abandon any such fool ideas if I were you. After all, that which is won by brute force is apt to be lost to the same. Perhaps I might interest you in a game of wits instead. I set before you a simple task. Solve my riddles.
Now there's gonna be a bunch of riddles here. It's gonna be 10 in total.
Should your answers please me,
And this
I
is
will
where the
bestow
actual
upon you
journey
the
begins.
contents of yon chests. I trust I have your attention. If so, take your place and we shall begin.
Alright, you wanna walk straight forward.
The fool
And
beholds a
start her
sage in the
dialogue.
mirror. The sage a fool. Which is it you see, I wonder? Our eyes are our allies, yet oft do they betray, for eyes tell lies. So I advise, and thence do lead astray. Yet, how will your eyes advise you? Venture through yonder door, and retrieve that which is of greatest value.
And this is the first riddle. This is really easy. You just want to go through the door that she just opened. Just to the right here. There's going to be a bunch of goblins here that you want to defeat first before you can properly do the quest. Do not proceed further into this cave because you don't need to. Now if you're done fighting them, behind you, above the door is a chest. That's what we're looking for because the contents of the chest are exactly what we need for the first riddle. You get this file, and basically this file allows you to trap an NPC within and travel with them or do whatever the hell you want with them. I have been wondering though if I could trade the file with someone online. Like give it to their pawn once I've used their pawn, and then give them an NPC essentially. I wonder if that would work. But yeah, want to walk back up to her, and she's gonna be a bit creepy in a bit.
Yet, how will your eyes advise you? Venture through yonder door and retrieve that which is of greatest value.
Want to give her the file. And don't worry, you'll get it back. Look, and here's the creepy part. I love this so much. The animation on this is... she's scaring me, honestly.
Indeed, this is what I sought. Your
There we
eyes
go.
see true. No greater worth can there be than that found in simplicity.
And there
As
we
promised, I
just
shall bestow
unlocked
upon you a prize.
our first chest.
Collect it from yon chest and take this file too. Its purpose I shan't divulge. How you use it is up to you.
Well, thank you, thank you.
That was certainly worthwhile.
Gonna open the chest real quick. There we go. And we're gonna walk back up to her and start a new dialogue for the next riddle.
Come to test your wits. Love is as twin to madness, they say. They are bound fast, as night is today. So bring forth your most beloved to me, that I might...
Now for
gauge
this
the
riddle,
depth of
your most beloved
insanity.
can be an NPC that you have a high affection with, but the easiest thing to do is just to grab your main pawn, as your main pawn is pretty much your most beloved in this whole game. You've been traveling with them throughout the whole game. So pick them up. Sorry pawn. Place them down and start the new dialogue. That was the whole riddle. God damn. There we go. This is a bit clunky sometimes. Yep, okay, there we go.
Come to test your wits.
Yes, I have.
Love is as twin to madness. So bring forth your most beloved to me, that I might gauge the depth
Depth of your insanity.
Most beloved you bring before me?
Yes, she is. And creepy face again. She's gonna be doing this every single time, by the way. It freaks me out every single time as well.
Well, well. Very good.
And the music with it is just so There's something about it.
Not half bad. Yet only one you bring? I thought you capable of more.
How many people do you think I can love? Jeez, Sphinx mommy.
A promise made.
A promise kept.
And so I shall open for you a chest.
And there we go, second chest. Let's open that up real quick. There's a bunch of good loot in these quests. That's the wrong chest. Let's see. And this one has a port crystal. So if you didn't already have the port crystal, you do have it now. So you want to place it outside of the altar because we are going to need it multiple times throughout this video.
The parent knows the child, yet the reverse is far from true. The child knows not the parent. Such is the parent's due. I am a lost child, for kinship do I yearn. So bring to me my parent, that I might better learn.
Now this one is kind of special. We need to do something very specific and hire a very specific pawn from a rift at a very specific location near the checkpoint rest town, which is here. Let me check. There it is, the Riftstone of Fellowship. We want to go there. So first make your way back to checkpoint rest town if you have a Riftstone there. Otherwise just walk all the way back from where we started. And once you get to this crossroad right here, you want to go to the right side real quick. There we go. And there's probably going to be a bunch of enemies here.
If we've a destination in mind, an ox guard would get us there with little effort. It's preferable to walking. A thief's agility makes
There we
them
go,
a
there's
tricky
the
opponent.
rift.
Try not to let them get the upper hand.
Gonna have to defeat them first real quick since it won't let me enter the actual rift if there's enemies nearby. Gonna walk back. There we go, the Riftstone of Fellowship. Now, as mentioned, we need to do something very specific. We're looking for a pawn named Sphinx Parent. Not this one, the Sphinx Mother. There's going to be a Sphinx Father as well. But we are looking for the Sphinx Parent. Now, you see two of them standing next to each other. It doesn't matter which one you hire as long as its name is Sphinx Parent. That's one of the pawns that we're looking for. So you just want to hire them. If you already have 2 pawns set, or 3 in total, you just want to get rid of one. Of course, we're gonna give him a nice parting gift right here.
Shall we discuss tactics now or like?
They want to leave the rift. And now we're gonna make our way back to the Sphinx. So we're gonna take one of our fairy stones and use the port crystal that we either just placed or placed beforehand to the mountain shrine. And we're gonna go back. So now that we have the Sphinx Parent with us, you wanna pick them up? Come here, you. And just like you did with your main pawn earlier, just place him on the altar and then start your dialogue again.
Test your wits. The parent knows the child, yet I am a lost child. For kinship do I yearn. So bring to me my parent, that I might better learn. And you claim this to be the parent I seek?
Yes, I do. Creepy face again. It doesn't get old. Like they nailed it with this one, honestly.
Indeed, you are correct.
All is in the name.
You have proven your wits, and so I shall bestow upon you.
And there we go, next chest.
Collect it from yon chest at your leisure.
Outstanding.
Gonna open up the chest real quick. The next riddle, by the way, is really, really easy. And quite handy, honestly. So you just want to start your dialogue again. And this is the Riddle of Conviction. So you basically need to be convinced of the item that you give her. It can be literally any item, and she will duplicate it for you. So if you give her a port crystal, you'll get 2 port crystals. If you give her a fairy stone, you get 2 fairy stones. You name it. Just give her an item. It really doesn't matter what you give her. I'm gonna give her a fairy stone because they always come in handy. I don't really need the port crystal for now, but we are gonna need as many fairy stones as we could possibly get right now because we're gonna need them further on down the quest.
So, this is your prized possession. Do you consent to give it to me?
Yes, I
Knowing
do.
It may never be returned.
Really? You sure about that?
Well, well. Very good. That's the spirit.
Alrighty.
Such generosity deserves a reward, methinks. Why don't you take a peek in yon chest?
Well, shall we? Now, if we're gonna go to that chest, you'll see that the fairy stone is back in there. Doesn't matter what you put in there, you'll get it back. And now the next one is actually quite hard. This is the Riddle of Rumination. And basically, she's gonna ask you to find your first Seeker's token, the first Seeker's token you found throughout your journey. I do have a really handy trick to trace back your steps properly, but I'll show you that in a bit.
Yet where was it that you found your first?
Because if you're like me, you probably don't really know anymore where you found your first Seeker token. So the trick that I'm gonna be showing you is gonna come in really handy, and it might save your day, because you need to find the Seeker's token within 7 in-game days, so within a week. So now we're gonna switch over to the trick, actually. Now that we're here, you can see we're on this IGN Interactive Dragon's Dogma 2 map. So what you wanna do is, basically you wanna hide all of the other check marks, because we don't need them. So we're gonna hide this, hide all of these as well, except the Seeker's token. So you want to click that, then hide the rest as well. Now, as you can see, we can see the location of all of the Seeker stones. And if you look up top here, which is the beginning area, right? Like this whole right side, and then the top part here is the first area that you spawn into this world. It's probably that you found your first Seeker's token around this area somewhere. So using this interactive map, I suggest you just go step by step and try to find your first Seeker's token. I know it's a bit of a hassle. It took me about 2 hours, even with this map. But yeah, I found it in the first area, but you might be able to find it in Vernworth. So once we get the Seeker's token, there's no really a tutorial on how to do this, because it's going to be different for everyone, and you're not going to find a Seeker's token, but you're going to find a Finder's token in the same position as you find your first Seeker's token.
I see I needn't have worried.
So we deliver the Finder's token.
Well sought and well found. I trust it was a pleasant
And just like that, you are gonna need to find your Finder's token, so I do suggest you just trace back all of your steps. It might be a bit of a hassle, but you don't want this Sphinx questline to stop, so you really need to find the Finder's token.
Perhaps you expected more, but I'm afraid that's that.
And now basically she is gonna go to a different place. Now there's 2 things you can do. You can jump on her back and fly to her next location, but we're not going to do that because we still have our port crystal placed down here, and we want to pick that up first before we proceed.
I bid you farewell, dogged adventurer.
That was certainly worthwhile.
Look, listen to this. Whoever was in charge of that sound design, there was something else. But yeah, she's gonna fly off to the next location. We're gonna open our last chest real quick here, which is gonna be 3 fairy stones, which once again are gonna come in quite handy. Now we're gonna wanna make our way down to wherever you place your port crystal, because once again, you really want to pick that up. You don't want to leave that here.
And ill-suited to combat.
So pick that up, and then
Let us
we'll
proceed
head
with
over to
caution.
the next
Eyes
part
peeled,
of
ears
this quest
blocked.
line. So this one is the Riddle of Reunion. You want to make your way to checkpoint rest down once again. And once you're there, you want to follow this path right here. Follow this down to the river right here. Follow the river all the way to this place, this marked place right here, because that's going to be the next location of the Sphinx. Once you make it here, make sure to place down your pork crystal, because once again, we're going to need it multiple times. And this in itself was the next riddle. The next riddle was to find her in the next location.
At once. I too have grown rather engrossed.
So that was the Riddle of Reunion, as you can see. Now, what we are gonna do... now first, hold up. Let me open our chest. I'm getting ahead of myself. There we go. We get a lot of gold, by the way. 104,000. A very specific number, by the way. Now we're just gonna walk up to... Damn it. Walk up to her again.
Ours is a battle of wits. Tests of metal are more to your
And by the way,
strength.
this is where
Is that not
the
so?
riddles get a bit tricky.
Come,
Because they're
try
probably
our
not going to be in the same order as yours. Because she's going to give the riddles randomly now. So my first one is the Riddle of Contest. And she's going to give you a ring which basically makes you really, really weak. So what you want to do, you're not going to be able to defeat this guy. So what you want to do is find an ability to knock him over. And once you've knocked him over, let me see. Come on, boy. Come here. Come here. We're not doing any damage, so don't even bother trying to kill him. You want to knock him over, just like so. Oh, no, no, no. Well, that was a bit extra, but you want to pick him up, walk over to this ledge, and say bye. You just want to throw him overboard, and that was the whole riddle.
Good show. It seems your mind is as strong as your arm. You have more than earned your reward. Another chest is yours to claim.
Alrighty. We're gonna open the next chest. What do we get? Ah, the Ring of Ambition. Don't equip that.
So vast is this world and full of life. You are but one of many. Indeed. In the grand scheme,
Okay, this one is
we are
actually
as
quite
distinct
funny.
from one another as pebbles on a beach.
We are gonna want to find a guy called Virgil. He has a twin brother as well, who's in a different city. But this guy, Virgil, is just past the gate between Checkpoint Rest Down and Backbatal. So you want to go to Checkpoint Rest Down, go through the gate, and he should be pretty much right there. So we're gonna go here. Let me see. Use our Poor Crystal first. We're gonna go to Checkpoint Rest Down. There you go.
We seem to have worked without issue.
Once you're
Is
here,
safe here?
come on, get out of the way, Ox. So once you're here, you want to follow this path right here to the gate to Backbatal right there. That's gonna be around there, right? So you want to follow the path that we're on right now. And once you follow the path, you'll go through the gate. And once you go through the gate, you should pretty much run into Virgil. He's gonna be here. This pretty majestic man. We're gonna pick him up, and we're gonna use yet another fairy stone to get back to the Frontier Shrine where the Sphinx is. You wanna place him down on the altar. He's not having a good time. I can only imagine he's not having a good time. Do you want to start the dialogue again?
So vast is this world, indeed. In
Yeah,
the
yeah,
grand
yeah,
scheme,
yeah,
but
yeah,
are these
yeah.
differences so great? If you,
She's gonna check him out real quick.
is this the man I sought?
Well, you tell me.
Truly? You are satisfied with your answer?
I am.
Then I shall weigh its merit.
Now she's gonna compare the person you brought to her to the person she presented you with, which should be the same now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He's so good looking. What a good looking fella.
Is no less a challenge than to seek a single grain of sand, yet pluck you have. And for that, I congratulate you.
There we go.
Another prize is yours for the
Our
taking.
next chest is to be opened.
Outstanding.
And we get a whimsical daydream. This is actually a pretty cool item for the trickster. As you can see, it's modeled after a beast of myth, opulent and airy to behold by some. Yeah, so it's just a pretty cool item. You'll figure it out. You want to go back to the Sphinx mummy, and I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get the Riddle of Recollection right now. So the Riddle of Recollection is really easy. In my case, so far, I've done 8 riddles, right? It just depends on how many riddles you've done so far until you get this riddle. But I've done 8 riddles. I've completed 8 riddles. So there's gonna be a couple of statues right there. And the number of riddles that you've completed so far is the number of statues that you want to place before her. So once again, in my case, we're gonna be picking up 8 of these statues. And what you want to do is just pick them up and throw them right in front of her. That should do. And so on and so forth. It's pretty self-explanatory. Once you've done that, you want to walk back up to the altar.
For every question aptly answered, bring one here before me.
She's gonna see if you have the correct answer. Make sure to count and retrace your steps. And you can also count by checking out the chests that you've opened so far. So in the first location, you've opened 5 total. And we've opened 3 here so far, so that makes 8 total.
And the correct one, no less. I see you're keeping track. Of course, your erudition shan't go unrewarded.
There we go. Another chest. Let me tell you, the next riddle is pretty intense. It can go wrong, which it did for me in this playthrough. I've done this multiple times now, and this unmaking arrow is really, really important. So don't throw this away, don't sell it. We're gonna need it in just a bit, but I'll show you and explain to you why. But we're gonna have to do some very specific things right now, right? First, we're gonna talk to her again, obviously. Then we're gonna find a guy. We're gonna wanna find a guy in Bakbatal, which is pretty easy to do. But before you do that, in Bakbatal, you want to change your vocation to Archer if it isn't already, or Warfarer. That works as well, as long as you can equip a bow.
It's rather fragile.
Now, by the way, that vase that she's talking about right now, you do not want to carry that vase all the way to Bakbatal to the guy, because the vase is gonna break, because it's a massive journey, as you can see right here. Let me check it. Look at the road all the way to Bakbatal. That's not gonna work, but I've set a marker for where the guy is. We're gonna pick him up in a bit. Instead of bringing the vase to him, we're gonna bring him to the vase. So we're gonna go to Bakbatal real quick. Alright, so first things first, like I mentioned, you want to go to the vocation guild and change your vocation to an archer or a warfarer if you have that unlocked right now.
To overthink it, you could...
So once you are an archer, all you want to have is a bow. You want to have a bow equipped. Doesn't really matter what other items you have. You don't need like armor or boots or pants, whatever. You just need a bow. That's the most important part. Once we've done that, we want to go to the marker that we placed earlier to pick this guy up and bring him to his vase, phase, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to use a fairy stone once more, and we're going to go to the frontier shrine. So here comes the really important part, right? This is pretty much the end of the Sphinx Riddle questline. And I made a massive mistake in this playthrough. What I did is I panicked. You'll see that in a bit. I panicked and I missed the unmaking arrow that we just got from our previous riddle in the chest. You want to equip that to your bow. and shoot her in the wing. That's the only way to actually defeat her the proper way and to open the big golden chest behind her. And trust me, you want to open that big golden chest because that big golden chest has an eternal wakestone. And what a eternal wakestone does is it basically revives you and every other pawn in your vicinity if you're all down. So this is the last dialogue, basically, sort of. She's gonna tell you that you properly delivered the vase to the guy,
Well. The amphora, though I'd hate to say that
and you get a trophy if you're on PS5.
prize all the same.
So we now have that chest right there. But she's gonna say that things are coming to an end, right?
I shall now take
What you want to do right after this after this dialogue is attack her. Attack her or make your pawns aggro her. But what I did was I went straight into my unmaking arrow thing, but it unquipped right there. I didn't even notice that. I tried to shoot her, but it didn't work, and now she's flying away. Like, you need to shoot her. Now, I was straight up panicking here. I didn't know what to do. My unmaking arrow seemed to be gone. She was flying away, and you do not want this to happen. So I was in awe here. I was in complete shock. I went to the unmaking arrow, and I was like, hey, it isn't equipped anymore. So what do I do? So what you want to do is use the steady shot option for the archer and shoot her in the wing when she's down. But I missed it, and I was like, okay, let me just close the game and try and see if I can restart the game back up and see if she's still there. But unfortunately, as soon as the game started back up and I got back into the game, she was already gone. So you do not want this to happen to you, because the only way to fix it now is to lose all of your previous progress and load from the last in save instead of the last save. Which you can do, but you'll probably lose a couple of hours of gameplay, which you do not want to happen. So instead, now I'm using the footage of TechBack TV here. I'll post his channel in the description down below, but you want to do what he does. So unequip the unmaking arrow, shoot her in the wing before she's able to lift off, and she'll die instantly. Now you get a short animation. Now you're able to pick up a bunch more gold, as well as the key to the golden chest, which has the eternal wakestone. So I failed this one pretty bad. Luckily, other people have done it right. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If this video was helpful, I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.